Council of Minds, the Council of Minds. This is the Council of Minds, a place to discuss film, comics, and all things media.
Woo! So, this is the inaugural episode of the Council of Minds. This is me, your boy Roddy Vision, and my boy Rickety at Dickety, Big Dickety. No, I'm playing Ricky. Introduce yourself.
I'm Ricky Lowe. Hi.
And he is going to be my first guest on these series of Council of Minds. What we're going to do is we're going to bring to you some film and comic book material. We're going to talk about different subjects. So today, Ricky has some subjects that he picked. And Ricky, what were you thinking about today?
First subject on my mind is bad comic book films, or maybe what we, the general public, perceive as bad movies.
Oh, okay. Like polarizing films, kind of like movies like Batman versus Superman, or like the Daredevil with Ben Affleck. Unfortunately, he was in both, but I love you, Batfleck. Ben Affleck is dope. But yeah, so did you want to discuss first, like, what do you think is like the sort of the vibe or the thought process behind all that, and then maybe we could delve into like a movie and sort of dissect it a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
okay, cool. Yeah. So what were you thinking in general about all this?
I mean, first, straight off, you got probably what the audience is. You have the general audience, which is probably people who probably never read a comic book, or read a story here and there, or just know of a character, just the general story of it. Yeah. And then you will have comic book fans who pretty much know everything about this character, about a certain
dorks
character.
like us, yeah.
And then they're gonna nitpick at everything in that movie, from origin, costume design, just storyline, going down to everything to the nitty gritty. So, and then it's those two audiences, when they clash, it's like it could be like one of the worst things ever.
Yeah, I tend to look at it like it's the whole like I used to be very it used to make me angry too, and I used to be very aggressive about this, where I thought, because I knew everything about like comic books or cartoons or superheroes, that I owned that material. It was a place for me to escape to. So when other people made comments, I would like, you're not educated to make this comment. But at the end of the day, I think what Marvel realized is that it's kind of like ice cream. If you know you like vanilla, you don't have to explain to me why you like vanilla. You just know that it tastes good. So sometimes I think we might come off as snobbish and thinking that someone has to actually state why they know things, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's that snobbish at all. I think that if you love something, like a person or anything, you should be able to tell someone why. So I think that with certain movies like Daredevil or B vs. S, they had a lot of things that were that had a lot of merit in them. But people were like, yo, I hate this. Like, I don't like this. But like, what how do you feel about that? Like, because this is something that I deal with every day. I've actually chosen to give up.
Kind of, because like I read comics ever since I was a kid, so it's. And when I was younger, when the comic book film came out, I was excited, and I used to be like that.
Dreams are reality now.
That I was like a terrible fanboy. I was just like watching the film, and then my friends would be like, "Oh, hey, that's kind of cool," and then I would just be like, "No, that's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be this, and this. So it doesn't make sense why you say Daredevil." He killed someone in the movie. Like, he doesn't kill. That's one of his things. Like, this movie is terrible because of that. Yeah. And then as I got older, I just realized, you know what? You can't adapt everything to film. Yeah. And then you got to change things around. Yeah. And then so as the years went on, I became a little more, I guess, passive towards it, and became a little more understanding. And then rather than be like, try to attack someone for saying it was good, I was like, oh, well, I get why they did it, but then this is what originally happened, and I can see why they did it for the film for this reason. So
I get it too. I think I've actually ended up in the same side of the fence that you're on, because I feel like, so this was explained to me back in the day at camp, to Ricky's point, by a counselor I had named Johnny Reinhardt. And Johnny was in the comics too, but he established that film has its own context, cartoons have their own context, and so do comic books. Even in the cartoons that we love that honor the characters, there are changes. Like things with Spider-Man versus things in the comic book itself. Like, we knew Hobgoblin was first from the cartoon, but in the comic books, Green Goblin was the original Goblin that we were all exposed to. So it's, I guess, what interpretation people feel is better, or which is newer. Maybe new rules. But honestly, like, I gave up like Ricky, because you could also think about it as, even within comic books, there are different realities.
Yeah.
There are different versions of said events by different artists. So I think the thing we might need to hold on to is, do they honor the character? And honestly, Ben Affleck as Daredevil honored the character, and Charlie Cox does the same thing. And we could talk about Batman vs Superman after this, but I think that Ben Affleck honored Bruce Wayne. Even though people would clearly agree that Dark Knight might be the biggest, best trilogy ever, because the movies were so great. But yeah, man, we might have to give this one up. But the internet has made everyone, including us, critics, and people get to air their opinions. And at the end of the day, when we were young, it was the artists and their interpretation, and either we got something gold, like the first X-Men. No, let's not talk about that guy, because we know what he did. Or we get something gold like Blade. Blade not only was a great Marvel film, Blade revolutionized the entire market for this stuff. It made it popular, and it was actually better than a comic book.
That's true.
Blade's cooler in a comic book than he is. No, he's cooler in the movie than he is in the comic book. And cooler in the one Spider-Man episode where I told my dad I knew everything about Blade, but the movie changed a little bit. My dad said, "You don't know what you're talking about." But is that the consensus, Ricky? Do we give up?
I think, yeah.
To be happy, probably.
Yeah, because we realize in a perfect world, everyone's vision of what they want is different. So, I see Batman a certain way, and I think that's perfect. You see Batman a certain way,
and I think that's perfect. Yeah,
and
yeah.
our views may not be the same, but then it's like,
we should be able to talk about it,
right? Not kill each other over it, but just talk.
So democracy. So on this note, I want to end it saying, especially if Ricky agrees, that if you guys have an opinion on why something is good or bad, delve in to actually see how it made you feel, deal with those emotions, and deal with what it affects in you, and be able to maybe try to speak forth. You don't have to, and you're not wrong for not wanting to, but see if it's possible for you to be able to express your passion about it, because we're passionate about these characters. So whether you're right, if he's wrong, or I'm right, that passion shows that you care about the material, no matter what your level of interest is. So express that, and even in the comments, tell us how you guys feel. Tell us your favorite comic book movie or favorite film experience, and talk about how you feel about it. Because when I look at Batman, it makes me wrestle with the ideas of how much I love my parents, and I did lose a parent. So seeing how Batman could use that as energy to save a city, that might be why I connect with something. So see why you connect with things. Why does that hero make you feel the way you feel? The Council of Minds. The Council of Minds.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For ideas on these topics or future topics to discuss, share it in the comments. Peace.